so I won't be super responsive.
That's
It's okay.
cool.
So, welcome to NFL Live, Week 17, last week of the regular season. With me today, we have Clem,
Hey.
LDO,
Hello.
Neo,
What's up, bitches?
and Saluna. Woo!
What's happening?
Okay, so we're gonna start this off with a Q&A session with Saluna. Just gonna go through some of the questions in the shout box right now.
I did not okay this, but whatever.
Deal with this. Deal with it. Okay.
Saluna has disconnected
Rap-
from chat.
Rabbit
I thought about it.
says, Saluna, who do you think is the best outside linebacker in this upcoming draft?
Let me look at the draft book really quick to refresh
Yeah.
my memory.
Guys like Pat Murphy, Paul
Brian
Goodman,
Hernandez.
Brian
That
Hernandez.
obviously biased answer, but Paul Goodman. I love that guy. Louis Peterson or Brian Hernandez would be my other choice, maybe. Patrick Murphy's pretty good. Austin Olsen. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah. This
Who's
is
in the
a really good
tunnel?
outside linebacker class.
There's a lot of good ones. Question from Bingo for Saluna. Who do you
Happy
think
birthday,
the Dolphins-
Bingo.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Bingo!
Bingo.
Birthday, Bingo.
Best coach in the sim. Woo!
All right. For Saluna, who do you think the Dolphins least want to meet in the playoffs / potential Super Bowl?
Let me think about this for a second.
His backups beat the Jets starters today. Like, I don't think he gives a shit.
No, that wasn't the Jets starters. It was
No,
like-
but Jets part bench as well, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it was mostly backups on both ends. Honestly, probably like something from the NFC North. I think I'd have some problems with the Packers or the Lions or the Vikings.
I think the Lions are eliminated from
I think
playoffs.
the Lions are out.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Minnesota can only get in if something weird happens in the Tampa Bay game.
Wow, so out of that division, only
Carolina.
one person gets in? That's crazy.
Yeah.
NFC South is beast mode, Selena.
Alright, well, the only other thing that scares me is Oakland because alien fucking. I don't know. I just don't like playing against aliens.
Alien because alien.
It's super random, even though I know what he does every time. It's just like I can't stop it. I don't know why.
He scares you because aliens.
He scares me because I talk to him every day, and he like knows what I do because I talk to him every day. So
Here's one for the entire panel from Wooden. Let's grade the rookie QBs. So let's just make this. Who do you think is the best rookie quarterback? We'll start off with LDO.
Fucking hell.
You on the spot.
let's put the Homer dude on the spot.
Yeah, let's put the owner or one of the rookies on the spot.
God. I am gonna say Jairus Jones, right? Just because in his last 8 games he's been really good. Like in the second half of the season he seems to have been pulling it together quite a lot, and he's put together some really good performances. I think I showed it in Shoutbox yesterday. I think he's had like a 97 passer rating or something, and a bunch of good stats. So yeah, and after Dallas, I'm hoping it's a sign that he's finishing the season strong. If I wasn't going to say Jairus Homer pick, I'd probably say maybe Ken Eller, maybe. I think.
We're gonna move to a guy that loves Ken Eller. Neo, what do you think about the rookie
right.
QBs?
Damn right, I love Ken Eller. He leads all rookie starters in completion percentage, by the way, just like throwing it out there. As much as I love Ken Eller, I think he's the second best rookie quarterback this year. I got to go Jairus Jones, number 1. He's only slightly behind my boy Eller in completion percentage. He's just barely behind Norris Brooks here on yards for leading all the rookies. He's got the most touchdowns and I think the fewest interceptions of any rookie starter. The highest quarterback rating. One of the high, not the highest yards per attempt. That goes to Jefferson, but overall, I think if you look in the overall package, it's hard to go against Jairus Jones.
Clem, what do you think?
I'm gonna go Jerry's Jones. I'm looking at the stats, and he's actually second in interceptions behind McCready, but he has a higher passing rating. He's led that team to 7-8 record. I know they don't play in a strong division, but I think his team's in the best position right now of all the expansion teams.
We'll send it to Saluna.
I won't list who I think is the best because I don't feel like that'd be fair. But I would like to raise the discussion about AJ Jefferson being having a very similar career so far in the NFL to what he had in college. For those that remember, like 2014.
Yeah.
It's almost identical. He's kind of started out shitty, threw a lot of picks, and then it's kind of come back. I still think that the trade that the Falcons did to get AJ Jefferson is terrible, but he seems to be at least sort of establishing himself. I think Jerry's Jones was probably the most pro-ready kind of quarterback that was in the draft, which is good for the Cardinals. But I don't know how much higher. Like he's definitely has the highest floor, but I don't really know how high that's gonna go. I'm not saying he won't be good. I'm just saying I'm not sure how high. So I guess we'll see. I'm not so sold on like Ken Eller or most of those guys. Erasmus McCready is pretty good. He doesn't get a lot of hype, but he's kind of game manager-ish.
Yeah,
So,
he does. Yeah, the Bills don't really throw it because they run everything through their running game and defense. But
I've got my stats
Shout
up here. Sorry.
Shout out to the Patriots for drafting Lawyer Johnson, who I'm pretty sure is not very good.
Oh.
yeah, to be fair, Lawyer was really terrible for a really long time. And then starting with that game against the Seahawks that nobody expected the Patriots to win.
Well, I've got these.
Took over.
He kind of he's been really good since then.
I've got the second half of the season stats here, and he's actually been really good over the last 7 games.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like really terrible completion percentage. Like 58% of your passes is a joke, but he's been so much better that it gives them a little bit of hope. Although I'm not sure I feel great about him going into the future, but
I'm gonna pull this one out. My pick for the best rookie QB, just on performances alone, is gonna be Rob Corp, the backup for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, corporate takeover.
Corporate takeover. I think he's better than Ontario Smith, and I was a bit surprised when they went back to Ontario Smith when he recovered from his injury. For 5 games, Corp has 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
He has a 102.6 passer rating as well.
He's also got a 5.65 yard per carry and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got 20 rushes for 113 yards.
I will say that whenever Rabid keeps mentioning in the shout box about how they'd be in the playoffs if Ontario was healthy the whole time, I'm pretty sure it's bullshit. I don't think it really made any difference. I also think that Rob Core is better than Ontario, but
wouldn't it be Core only if there's an S on the end, like the Peace Corps?
No, it's still Core.
It's still Core?
I don't know. I know somebody with the last name CORP, and it's Core.
What origin name is that? Is it an American name? Well, no, it's not an American name. Not such a thing.
It might be French.
I've never met anybody with that name, so I wouldn't know.
It is French, introduced to England after the Norman conquest.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
it's pronounced Core.
So Core would make sense. All right. So Rob Core, today I learned.
Hashtag corporate takeover.
I have a friend from Louisiana whose last name is Core, so I guess it makes sense that it's like.
Okay,
French.
cool. Yeah, that would make sense. I would agree. I think Rabbit's kind of overblowing the Ontario Smith versus Rob Core impact. I think Core's been really good. If he played for the entirety of the season, I probably would have picked him. But yeah, you notice that we'll talk about it a little bit later, but they did go back to him, at least today.
Yeah, and he did.
I feel like most of the 1 p.m. games were people trying to throw as hard as possible to try to get a draft pick. But
oh yeah, I know, but it's nice. He played super well.
Other teams. Rabbit was pissed because he said, "What the fuck did the Bengals do?" I think he's partially mad that the Bengals threw harder than they did.
The tanking is real today.
All right, and then one more question that I saw earlier was the Darius Jones. Like, he doesn't put up the big stats, but there's a really big hype train for him because he's really got that big, strong free safety size. He has an 83 rating. greatest free safety prospect of all time. There's a lot of hype from the media guys that I do the mock drafts with, but what's some of the thoughts from people that haven't been drafting with me about Darius Jones of Washington?
I think he's outrageously good. He's a lock to go in the top 10, if not the top 5, just because of not even because like positional value wise, like you don't really think about free safety that way, but good free safeties have been so scarce in the league that could easily drive him to be like a pick in the top 3. Like I'm not saying I think it's a good idea or a bad idea, but I think it's going to happen.
I'm not really sure what to think about him because I mean he hasn't put up like amazing stats this year, but I know
He's
that's
got a
obviously
pretty
all.
good stat. He's
He had
got
like
three.
three interceptions, which I guess is
Yeah.
decent. But
It's second in the Pac-12. I don't know about nationally. At the position, I mean.
I like his
Sorry, go
size. I like his size more than anything. I think like 6'1", 205 pounds. He's a big guy. But I like safeties like that, and not like Greg Corbin. Sorry.
Poor Corbin. At least he's doing good charity work, guys. Raised a lot of money for charity.
Amir Abdullah just ran back a 109-yard
His
kickoff.
medical bills are.
David Johnson also had like a 100-yard kick return. for the
Fucking
Cardinals.
yeah. Amir Abdullah. Too bad that doesn't get me any fantasy points.
I swear to God,
Yeah,
if they mention
line-
fantasy anymore on the real broadcast, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Fucking
Yeah,
every time it goes to break, it's like,
Kinda
oh,
ridiculous.
let's look at our top fantasy performers for today. I can only imagine if you don't play fantasy how bullshit this is now.
By the way, Clem, there you go. The Saints just threw a 12-yard pass to Willie Snead.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Ball safe forever.
That
Is
was
there a
some,
reason why there's been so much DraftKings though? Like does ESPN or CBS?
DraftKings
own
and
part of
FanDuel
DraftKings?
are no, they're private, but it's like fucking out of control. Like how much they advertise.
The Power 5 commissioners
I
put
don't-
together, like they sent like an envoy over to FanDuel and DraftKings and told them like, we want you to stop doing any college games for this.
Yeah.
I can't stop them though, so.
No, but they put together this whole group and went to ask them and like bug them about it. But anyway, that's not really related.
Yeah.
right. What next?
Yeah, let's go to the topic list that I've made. Breakout player of the year. I'll start off this time. I think my breakout player of the year is Morris Money Millen for the Chicago Bears. And he got paid huge dollars this offseason to move. He's currently 4th in tackles in the league with 100. He has a pick, 2 sacks. There's like talk that he only has these huge numbers because he's the best defender on a bad team, but it's still a very like just breakout a year for him. So he gets the Sage Bro Award for breakout player of the year. We'll go to LDO.
Mine is Sterling Brown of the New York Giants. He had a good rookie campaign. I mean, he had like 4.5 yards a carry. Wasn't among the top running backs in production, but I mean, he was solid for his rookie season. And then this season, he's been one of the top performers. He's had over 1,500 yards. He's above 5 yards per carry. 16 touchdowns, and that's all to go as well with his elevated or high injury risk. He hasn't missed a game yet, which is pretty big, I think, because he probably fell further than he should have done because of his concerns over his health. So yeah, Sterling Brown for me, I think, has been good this season. Elevated his performance.
Right, Neo.
I wasn't going to mention this guy. I had a different one in mind, but I didn't realize we had all these analysts, so I think they'll pretty much probably get the guys I wanted to bring attention to. So instead, I'm going to go with a homer pick. I'm going to mention Aaron Devereaux, the quarterback for the Saints. Last year, he was, of course, a top 10 pick when he fell to us. His completion percentage was decent, but he threw 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and only 2,100 yards. So he had a pretty average kind of year. And then this year he's turned that around and he's thrown for almost twice as many touchdowns and reduced his interceptions. He's up to 27 touchdowns and only 7 picks this year. He's got, with 1 game to go, so he's got an outside shot at doubling completely his touchdowns from last year, and he's up 1,000 yards passing. His yards per attempt is higher. His QB rating is up 10 points. And of course he's the quarterback for a team that might that's in the playoffs and might have the number 1 seed if we win today. So,
Devereaux forever.
Devereaux forever.
Clem, who's your breakout player of the year?
I'm gonna go with Cap Christian. He had a pretty bad year last year in New York, 11 to 30 catches and less than 400 yards for 2 touchdowns. He got picked up by Kansas City in the expansion draft, I think, and he and Thomas Wheeler have had a really good connection all year. He's now got 89 catches for 1,063 yards and 9 touchdowns this season. So I think that his career has taken a big swing just even going to Kansas City, even though they're a garbage team.
Yeah, that was one of the guys I was hoping somebody would mention.
I'm confused why he was made available. I don't understand why he was made available for the expansion.
Because the Giants mentioned this. They had when they had Wheeler and Cap Christian. Christian had a bad year. They thought that the chemistry wasn't there. They thought that they didn't like each other or something. That they didn't. It wasn't going to work out. And of course, both of them end up in Kansas City, and Christian just goes off.
Yeah, but you'd try at least trade him, wouldn't you? You'd think, like, if he was, because he was a rookie.
He was a first-round pick, wasn't he?
I think he was a second or third round
pick. It just seems like you're.
They gave up too quickly. They gave up too quickly on him. Either way, that's apparent.
You could have at least got like a 4th round pick maybe, or a 5th round pick or something. I imagine.
No, this is why the Saints traded all of our guys who would have gone high in the expansion draft to move around and get 4 picks in the first 2 rounds because we wanted to get more value out of it.
Jimbo brought up that Cap only progressed 1 between seasons, so that may have influenced the decision. Saluna, who's your breakout player of the year?
Let me think about this. Sorry, I'm doing the games. I have 1 game left. The Cardinals.
No, you're good. Keep it going.
Viewers, don't worry. Saluna didn't get the script thing with the topics, so he might have to think.
I might have to think a little bit. I think it's. I can think of a breakout team that I wouldn't have suspected. Actually, breakout player for me is. This is kind of weird because he was kind of a star initially and then fell off, but I think it's Jason Johnson. Honestly.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's
a
good
career.
one.
Yeah.
He went from being he was if you were here in 2013, he was the best quarterback in college.
Yeah.
And then he was absurdly hyped. Then this seems so bizarre to think now, but the Panthers taking Skaggs over Johnson was considered crazy.
Yeah.
And then the Packers traded down 1 spot from 1st to 2nd in the draft and took Johnson, and then he had been not so good. He had been acceptable. He went Andy Dalton for the first 3 years. And now he's good. Sort of. I won't say anything until they do something in the playoffs, but he seems improved.
Yeah. I mentioned this in the last. I mentioned this in the last broadcast a little bit that he sort of started off really high, and when the Saints actually traded up to 3, he was the guy we were hoping would fall to us, and then he kind of started off really great, and then he kind of dropped off fairly steadily as the seasons continued, and he was a top quarterback, and then he was a top 10 quarterback, and then people kind of got low on him, and at one point there was some scuttlebutt about the Packers even thinking about benching him and going after a younger quarterback in the draft at some point, and then they got him some improved weapons, and he just shot back up this year.
I think the addition of Nomalini is probably what saved him, honestly.
What? Sorry?
Nomalini addition.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I think that I don't know. There's nothing else. That's the one weird thing about the Packers. They were bad last year and they're good this year, but they didn't really improve in the draft. So I'm not super sure what happened.
No, they
But I think
traded
the
Des,
nominee-
and they didn't even replace him. They just played their backup, Keenan Kane.
And he's like mediocre.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think in part it has something to do with Jason Johnson's progression and Namalini.
And I think the Packers have the best tight end, not named whatever Oakland's tight end is, Gary something or another.
Gary.
Brian Gary. Yeah, I really like Bernard Taylor.
You like him better than Scott Howard?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Scott Howard. Yeah. So Bernard Taylor's probably the third best tight end. He's a touchdown machine. He's got 9 touchdowns for the year.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Red zone.
Him cutting underneath and then no Molina going wide. It's just hard for defenses to handle.
I'm not sure about anyone else, but I feel like quarterback performances this year are a bit more impressive than other years, just because we're playing more games. I feel it's a bit more. I don't know. I like to see consistent play at quarterbacks over 16 games as opposed to the 12 or whatever we played.
The thing is partially that the stats feel more realistic now because you have like a normal. Like,
Yeah.
It's just more normal. Everything feels more normal.
Yeah, well, it's normal schedule, isn't it? It's like
Yeah,
standard schedule now, so it's good.
All right, so we'll go to our usual. We'll pull up the 1 p.m. games and start talking about them as we move down. New York traveled to Miami this afternoon, and it was just the battle of the backups: Glenn Spencer versus Bobby Viger. Miami goes to 15-1. New York moves to 10-6. They're both playoff teams. Anything stand out for anyone here?
Shout out to Bobby Viger for playing his last ever game.
Yeah, shout out to Mario Ratte for playing his last ever
my running back
regular season game.
after
He's gonna go to Michigan and be their new running backs coach after this.
won Super Bowl, second place in college one time, lots of awards.
David
all over
Drake.
career.
David Drake with 2 sacks. Whoever David Drake is.
Shout out to David Drake for just having an awesome,
Drake.
having
I
an
don't
awesome
even know.
name on top of it.
Backup defensive end.
See, this is what I feel about Miami's players. Like, they just put backups in, and we're just fucking awesome.
Yeah, but they put in I put in all my backups except my backup O line, and they put in backup O line, so their O line was like 60s,
Oh, okay. Right,
and I
yeah,
blitzed, so
That makes sense.
like
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
But still, good performance for. Is it his first game? Is it his first professional game?
No, he's played a bunch.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He's never really done anything.
Saluda, what do you think about the battle of the Glens to back up Brian Brown? You got Glenn Spencer, who looks good this year, Glenn White, who looked good last year.
Won't be around next year. I think he's. I think
John.
I'm not. I have to confirm this, but I think his contract's actually up, and I won't renew it. I'll just keep drafting new, younger quarterbacks as backups. It's just more worth. It's not worth to resign it for me at least. With the way I handle my cap, I'll just keep rotating backup quarterbacks as long as they're fine. He's a good player. He's just not. I just don't need him, honestly.
Based on the saga surrounding Daryl Murphy's contract extension, Saluna, what is your opinion on? What is your opinion on the
I'm going to sign Daryl Murphy.
on reports?
I'm going to alternate the quarterbacks every week.
I was just wondering what you think that Brian Brown could ask for realistically.
This is where I should clarify something. Contracts are also based on previous contracts given to players. So, like,
Ooh, okay.
people want more than, like, somebody that they feel is they're comparable to. So if you pay,
Okay.
you paid, like, Daryl Murphy, for example, an even contract of $20 million a year, while then Brian Brown might be like, all right, well, I want $21 million.
All right, well, I gotta beat that. Okay, that's an element of realism.
So you need to be earlier than other contracts, basically.
Is it based on things like performance though as well? Like if your players don't perform, do they generally take
Yeah.
less?
No, they'll take less.
Okay.
It's not like a major thing, but it's mostly dependent on the overall rating, their age, and there's like lots of minor things, but overall rating and age is the most important thing, and then comparing it to other players.
Yeah.
Quick
Okay.
interruption. Gronkowski does not have a concussion. He's back in the game.
Thank fucking God.
Yeah, he didn't look like it honestly. He kind
Well,
of
he-
just
He
it took
might
like
have, yeah. They did do concussion protocol with him, so they suspected it too.
probably had a really minor one and he's kind of just run it off.
Just jog it off. Jog off the
I mean,
brain
he's
damage.
not a smart man to begin with.
Gronk do well. Gronk
Yeah,
catch ball.
Gronk smash. Gronk had no hurt. Gronk play.
Gronk do good.
Gronk. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they probably didn't even know if he passed it or not. They were just like, ah, he seems like normal Gronk. Just send it back out. It's fine.
He's just as retarded as always. Seems
Yeah.
fine to me.
Does a Steve Austin as he goes back out, smashes beer cans together, throws them in the audience.
Speaking of a team that could really use Gronk on the field if they could get him, our next game involves the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills in an upset victory in a game where they both started their starters. New England kind of blew this game wide open.
I think
Andre
Buffalo
Brooks.
I think Buffalo just kind of checked out. Like their season's over, so
Yeah, they've
biggest surprise
done
for me
what they
was,
came here.
The biggest surprise for me was Dess with about 3 yards of carry and a fumble. That might be his worst performance yet.
That is definitely his worst performance as a Bill.
a lot of the running back stats this week are really down. I'm not really sure why. I think it's just some. Why? Doesn't make any sense really. It's just
Player
happens.
player laziness in the last week of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the way people game planned. I'm not sure.
But I don't know. I thought Lawyer was on the upswing, especially after that huge Seattle win. And after this game, he kind of looks like Lawyer of old. 180 yards, 35 attempts. McCready, I'm not super sold on him. He seems like Harry Simmons for Houston, where he just kind of sits back, dumps the ball off a lot. I don't know.
But he doesn't turn the ball over. Really, he's got 5 interceptions on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta hand it to him. Like, he went to Alabama, so of course he's terrible. But there's a decent shot that he could turn it around, and I mean, they don't ask him to do that much. So
I like McCready coming to the draft.
Third as well. He was taking him in 3rd round, so he wasn't taken as high as all the other guys, which I think should be kind of taken into consideration.
Yeah.
do you remind anybody else a little bit of like Javier Fields early on?
I don't know.
I don't really have an opinion on that.
I don't know. I just get that feeling from him. I'm not sure why.
Hopefully he'll win the Super Bowl in 3 years and then be traded to the CFL.
Yeah, maybe. Shout out to Andre Brooks, man. That dude, like, he's the guy who's like he's an elite player who's been with the Pats since the beginning, and he was with them through like the playoff games and all that shit. And then he's kind of the only one keeping this team together at all, and he's having to go through like a 3-win season and like sit there and be tortured, and he's not giving up. Like, he's easily the best player on the team, and he gets the big play to spark them really.
What's his
28 yards, picks up the fumble and returns it for a touchdown.
What's his
He's
contract?
like a 95 overall rating or something.
His
I
contract's
don't know,
up.
but they better pay him like shit ton.
His contract's up next year, so
He
So don't
gone.
forget about it.
He gone.
I imagine he'll be the highest paid inside linebacker. Well, yeah, he will be. I imagine.
Slight note here: I have officially completed the 2017 season.
Wait.
One season.
Season 4 is in the books.
Okay.
Can't wait for the
Cleveland
playoffs.
Browns at the Baltimore Ravens, and the Browns
Ravens totally shit
chunked
the
the
fan.
fam.
Ravens needed this one to like be in it for the 2 seed, and they just like crapped out against, fucking Cleveland without their starting quarterback. I mean, come on.
A distinct lack of Tyrone Jones in this game. Not showing up on the stat sheet, but I mean,
Well, Cleveland did have the keys to victory. Let's be honest.
The keys to victory. Derek Keys.
I mean, so far, Derek Keys has pretty much just been the keys to defeat. Booker with an unusual he's like a 1,500-yard rusher. He's easily the best player on their offense, and he fumbled for them today. Didn't really, he ran for pretty weak yardage.
Should have done Williams.
Yeah, this is kind of an ugly game, honestly. Baltimore's defense actually made a few good plays, but they just didn't have enough offense to stop Cleveland, which is a sentence that no one uttered ever.
What's not ugly was Moomin Noonan with the 48.5 punting average. What a leg on that guy. Let's move on.
He went to LSU, so of course he's great. He's fantastic.
Bengals.
Greatest punter of all time.
Bengals
at Steelers. The Rob Core Show. He had 12 attempts, but ended up with 3 touchdowns and 150 yards. Oh my God!
That's fucking insane.
After the game went final, the commissioner of the NFL actually issued an official statement that just said, "Fuck you, danger." That's it. That's all he said.
Wait, what?
Alien posted in this thread, "Fuck you, danger," and that's it. Like he didn't have any context.
I'm guessing it's because
fantasy game.
Oh,
he's got Blake Shell.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, Blake Shell. Oh no!
Oh my God, that is so mad.
Oh, he's fucked. He is fucked harder than the Saints are fucked.
Wow.
Real Saints not
did James Bush start over Engelberger? I'm just seeing that for the first time now.
He's done that. Yeah, they've done that for like 6 weeks in a row.
Oh man, I've been behind.
Engelberger's been pretty bad, I think.
Another guy that's turned it around is Austin Medina. He was not so good for the Jets last season. He's
coming out of the draft. I really thought he would be like a really good player, and then he was kind of super middling with the Jets, and they traded him. I mean, I guess he's the Steelers' #1 receiver now.
Has he not always just been kind of like really average?
I don't know.
I
thought he was good at Kentucky.
He was great at Kentucky, and but since he got to the league, he's pretty much been average. I kind of like.
I've kind of thought about solid #2 more than anything to me.
Yeah, I've kind of thought about if we didn't have enough receivers right now, I would probably have interest in trading for him and sitting him at the slot or something.
Shout out in real life, just quick thing to the San Francisco 49ers, who just had 7 attempts from the Pittsburgh 2-yard line and didn't get it in.
Oh my God.
Steel curtain, bro.
Good God.
Oh my
The 49ers are garbage.
Yeah, they're garbage. They're really terrible. I mean, Jim Thompson was a terrible coach. Yeah. I mean, half of it retired, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
They're missing the defense.
They went from the most physically impressive defense to nothing. I mean, they have that guy. God, how can I not remember his name? He played at Penn State. The inside linebacker for 49ers.
Oh, in real life, Bowman.
Yeah, they have NaVorro Bowman and nobody else.
I was gonna say Bowman. I didn't know he played at Penn State.
Yeah, I taught NaVorro Bowman. He was in my. I had a bunch of football players 2010 in my intro to geology class. Bowman was one of them.
Holy shit!
Nice.
That's dope.
Just imagine loads of jacked to fuck guys just walking in his class.
Rocks for jocks, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because I'm taller than most of them. So to me, I mean, they had huge arms, but
Bowman's 5'11", isn't he? He's not that tall.
I don't know. He's something like that.
Fucking bowling ball is what he is.
I have a quick collegiate story that I want to tell. I'm in an airplane performance class with Josh Dobbs, quarterback of the Tennessee Volunteers right now. So we have a recitation section for airplanes, but it's on the syllabus as a lab. So one day we go, and CVS is just waiting for us with cameras. The professor's just well, they thought it was a lab, so we're just gonna pass around my model airplanes. No one break my airplanes. So for an hour, they just filmed Josh Dobbs touching model airplanes. There we go.
Wow.
All right then.
We'll move over to Clem's game. Indy shocking Houston, 17-7. Clem, how'd you do it?
I don't really know if anybody shocked anybody in this game.
It's not really a shock, yeah.
Like performance-wise, record-wise.
You know what is shocking? Houston's only 59 degrees.
What's shocking to me is that
It's like-
Houston
that's a
Houston had a
normal
9.1 average offensive line rating, which means they played fucking amazing. And Harold Simmons did terribly, like really bad, even though he must have had time.
Houston,
Yeah, I think we tried
his
to eat on
offensive
the
line is
run.
like the only one better is maybe Dallas's, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they have a
Dallas is
pretty fantastic offensive line. Mosey Bartos actually was pretty great in this game.
He's been great all season.
Yeah, Burton is gonna beat Burton. The poor Texans. I don't know how they're gonna last now. Their center is out for the season.
Oh no, not Raymond Muhammad. That's more impressive for their O-line rating, though, how it stayed at a 9.1 and their starting center was out for the game.
Well, I mean, he could have been injured in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We don't know when it happened, but still, yeah. Yeah, Harold Simmons, with 2 picks, and your offensive line is a 9-point run rating. I mean, he should he should wander over to Buffalo Bayou and just wallow in it for a while. Just
What do you guys think of Greg Biarria? I've given him a lot of hate in some of my media because I don't think he's very good, but what are you guys' thoughts on Biarria?
I don't think he's very, very good.
We went past him the last couple weeks.
It's about that simple.
Where was he? Where was he
I think-
drafted? I know he was one of the first. He was in the first draft class, wasn't he?
I think he
drafted
was
pretty
a
late.
third round.
I mean,
Third or fourth round.
He's been average. There you go.
Well, he had one season where he had a 70 or 68% completion. I think it was 2015 or 2016. He had a really good season, but other than that, he's
Probably last
kinda
year
bad.
when they went to the Super Bowl.
We went past
yeah.
Heavy the last couple of weeks just to see what he could do.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've kind of been expecting y'all to replace him if a quarterback falls to you, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happened this year. I mean, I have no idea what your plans are or whatever, but it feels
we need a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was,
2015,
Yeah, 2015. He had a really good season. Yeah.
but he only had 8 starts.
Yeah, who did you have? Keith Simon? He was terrible.
Keith Simon, I don't know if Keith Simon was on the team that year. He might have been. I don't know. But yeah, Greg only got 8 starts in 2015 for whatever reason.
I was super high on Rashad Simon when you guys drafted him. I was super high on him. I really thought he.
He hasn't had a bad
explode.
season.
He's been pretty good, but
I mean, he
I
had
don't know.
a
I kind of
average season last year, and then this season's been he's improved a lot. I mean, 500
I
yards,
feel like he's-
73
I feel
yards,
like
3
he-
touchdowns.
I feel like
He's
gonna
no
be
Mosey.
a really good player down the road.
He's already at
switch.
85.
85, wow. Let's switch over to the Taylor Bowl. Got Alan Taylor versus Kareem Taylor, and the Dream pulls it out, 17-14. Jacksonville
Yeah, the
might.
path.
Do you guys think that's the weakest conference champion or division champion?
Easily.
Yeah, they're not very good at times.
Someone earlier was mentioning Kareem Taylor's performance over the last 8 games, and it was really good. Can't remember what the stats
Yeah,
were
it's
exactly. But
He had 15 touchdowns, 1
had,
interception.
one interception over the last 8 games, which is.
This is also Kareem's contract year, so.
Well, but they're gonna have to keep him. I wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't let him go, I guess. Really.
Oh yeah. I'd be shocked if they didn't try to re-sign him. I mean, he's been pretty outrageously good for them on an expansion team. With
Him and Tommy Fury both. I don't know what Fury's contract's like, but Fury I think is a Pro Bowl wide receiver this year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
consistently.
I would. Yeah,
consistently
definitely.
It's consistently.
And John Harris for them, rookie out of Arizona State. He's been really good for them at running back. They're really solid at most skill positions.
Yeah.
Straight up, if you showed me all their stats from this year, I would have expected them to win the division, and they came pretty close. I mean, they're 8-8, and Jacksonville's winning it at 9-7. So
Yeah. AFC South was a shit show this year.
it's pretty bad.
Rich Moore is one of those players who is probably really frustrating for the Jacksonville staff, because I think last season it looked like he turned a corner in his career. Let me just bring it up. What did he have?
God.
Yeah, well, last season he put up like 4 sacks, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's gonna improve. But this year he's gone back down again. It doesn't seem that good for where he was taken.
Yeah, while
But I
we got some new analysts here, we get some new opinions. I asked this last time. Is there any team in NFLHC that is more of like a one-man show than Jacksonville? I mean, what do they have other than Alan Taylor on this squad?
No.
I can't name a single player.
Maybe Dallas with Von Abraham.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, Dallas has that great offensive line, though. I mean,
And they have Kamau when he's healthy. He's okay when he's healthy.
Kamau is like ultimate game manager quarterback. Like,
yeah.
he just checks down. He just kind of checks down for a first down and then lets Long carry it another like 2 times.
Maybe
I mean,
the Giants with Dick Cook. Dick Tim Tebow Cook. Well, we'll move on to the Chiefs against the Broncos. Thomas Wheeler throwing it 69 times.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's like
His arm was like,
an NFL team running the ball 4 times in a game. I mean, I know Oakland's done that at some point this year, but still, good lord, that's insane.
What happened to Michael
I
Shoemaker?
mean, obviously the
running back.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you
Shoemaker
go.
was so good in college, and then he came up to the pros and has been terrible.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
had
he's
I had
got
him rated as like the
8
lowest of
touchdowns.
those others. Yeah, but I mean, he's got like goal line carries that he's vulturing away from Wheeler, basically.
I mean, like, back when he was in Northwestern, that's the only thing anyone keyed in on. He was like Northwestern's Von Abraham. He was their offense. And he would still get it done even if he played against the run. But now he can't even get it done when teams are playing against the pass.
Could it be that he's just being? No, I mean, even if he was being used wrong, his production's been pretty terrible. Like 3.87 yards per carry.
Yeah, that's pretty.
He's
Like,
disappointing.
Fallback numbers.
But Darren Warner looks good for Denver. Do you guys think the old boys Bingo and Discreto keep Darren?
I think he's a solid option who you can keep hold of for at least like if they don't want
Couple seasons.
Based on I mean what I know about Bingo, I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't hang on to Darren Warner. There's a lot of pieces on this Denver squad, I mean, that need attention, and I think Warner is one of the bright spots on this team right now. I don't know why you would, unless you can't afford him, or if like you offer him a contract and that you think is fair, and he decides not to take it. I don't see why you.
Daryl Mack had a really good connection this year too.
Definitely,
A rookie
yeah.
wide receiver.
Good.
Definitely.
He's got over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns.
I think last season may have been Aaron Werner's first season actually playing. I know that he's like a third-year player, I think, this year.
No,
but
he played in year 1 with New England before they got LeCount.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
He was there. Yeah, he was their starter that whole year, and then they started the preseason. They started LeCount, and then they just forgot to take him out, and he turned out to be really good.
And last year, for the better part of the first half of the season, they had Robert Price starting for Denver before they picked up Darren Warner from the Seahawks. Or I think Darren Warner played for the Seahawks most of last year. I can't remember.
no,
Yeah, He played last year with them, yeah. And then they traded him to Denver. Or did he sign as a free agent with Denver?
this year he played for Houston. What the fuck's that about?
Played for Houston.
That must be wrong. That must be wrong. No,
No,
that's wrong.
Darren Warner's like the itinerant quarterback. I mean, he's like a nomad. He's gone all over the freaking league, not able to find a home. I feel like Denver's a good spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his stats, he's definitely worth giving a couple of seasons until they see someone who they really want. I don't think they'll get caught up in like the QB sweepstakes unless someone falls to them, maybe who they like. But
Yeah, it
you
wouldn't
know,
make sense.
there's a lot of wisdom on that team now with Discreto and Bingo. So they'll.
Speaking of which, I think that team is going to be like in the playoffs.
I'm
very
fucking
quickly.
terrified of a Broncos. Now. Two very smart men. Okay, what are we on
We'll
now?
flip to the last game of the morning slate. Eagles at the Redskins. Eagles start off real well with a punt return TD and an interception return touchdown, but Javier Fields in Washington pulled it out at the end. Eagles were pretty bad this season. I think Jumbo has them locked in for the #1 overall pick. If you guys were the Eagles, who would you draft with that #1?
I would
Just
trade that pick.
because I'm such a fan, I would take Aaron Shea. I think even though Kenella's there and I do kind of like him, I really like Aaron Shea, so I'd probably take Aaron Shea.
I
Yeah,
trade
as much
that
as I love Ken Eller so much, but I don't know how you could possibly pass on Aaron Shea. I've been man crushing on Aaron Shea for like 2 seasons. Before Aaron Devereaux fell to us, we were gonna hang on to Kareem Taylor, and the plan was like if Kareem didn't work out, then we would trade him and like just get up to the #1 pick and take Aaron Shea.
Yeah, I mean you got to remember that the Eagles are an expansion team, so I mean, whereas
They've
a
got
lot of people
so many
have,
holes.
yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of people have like, you know, Ivory Hull or whoever going first. It's kind of like, well, a cornerback for the Eagles will not have anywhere near as much impact as like a franchise quarterback. So I would go with that if I was an expansion.
I would trade that pick and try and get another first-round pick, maybe a couple second-rounders if you can. Because their offensive line is just miserable. I would look to upgrade offensive line first. They're starting a 68 and a 67 at guard.
Yeah, but you're not going to take a guard #1 overall.
Oh, you trade that
I mean,
pick.
it's not an option.
You trade down.
I mean, who do
And
you
you
trade
get more
to? Though?
picks.
Other than the Giants, who would trade up for Aaron Shea right now? The Giants are at like 6, and you can't take a guard at 6. You could take Riemann if he's there at tackle.
I mean, obviously, you'd always
They
look
need
to
tackle
trade.
too.
Yeah, you'd always look to trade if like there's a good enough deal there. I think, but it's if anyone.
Yeah.
I think especially now.
It takes 2 to tango there.
Yeah, if there's 32 teams now,
And-
like it
and
takes
how do you-
a good deal. Like,
That's the thing, though. If you trade that pick, to, who's going to trade it for Shea other than New York? And you really going to like give Aaron Shea to your rival?
No, you wouldn't trade to a division rival.
No.
But I think there's a lot more people who are maybe not as set with their quarterback situation as we all feel. So I think I can see a team moving from the mid-teens up to 1 who think they need a quarterback to compete. I mean, you can look at the Bengals even moving up. I could see them moving up Blake
Yeah, the
Shell.
Bengals do like to get aggressive.
I was
Still,
looking
I
at
think
anyone. I was looking
They
at
probably
anyone.
pick around 7 or 8, so you can take a guard at 7 or 8 and maybe get a second rounder and take another guard in the second round.
It's kind of hard looking at the teams to imagine who a really good quarterback could really help. Maybe Cleveland. Maybe Cleveland could really use a.
I don't see Cleveland moving up. They really
Cleveland,
like Ryan Clark.
Yeah, they love Ryan Clark in Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to take somebody on defense.
They need it.
Yeah. If I was the Eagles, if I didn't take Shea, I'd be looking at someone like Pat Murphy or Brian Hernandez. Just a big tackle hog for this defense. They have a good receiver in Michael Hawkins out of Florida. So it's just offensive line and defense
Maybe we're at that stage where some quarterbacks will fall, and it'll be really surprising. Because
I mean, I don't think it's going to be that surprising, though. I think there's so many people are going to look at a quarterback and say, okay, well, quarterbacks are going to fall, and they're not going to take quarterbacks. I feel like if you want a top 3 or 4 quarterback in this draft, you could probably get him in like the late first round easily.
Yeah, there's still people that you could probably get in the 4th or 5th round that maybe are better players than that. Or we should go higher than that.
Maybe a case of some teams doing like what New Orleans did, where if like a quarterback they like starts falling enough, then they'll manufacture a trade in the middle of the first or something like that.
That's possible.
I don't think anyone though is probably willing to pay the price to move up. I'm not sure though. It's the draft. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, if Aaron Shea somehow falls, I guess he wouldn't make it past 6 for the Giants, but if he's there at like 4, I could see a team trying to jump the Giants for him or something.
Yeah.
Most of the top 4 teams are all going to be expansion teams, so you got to figure out which expansion team.
Yeah, but I mean, like Chicago wouldn't. They're not going to take Shea.
Yeah.
They've got Brashear.
Yeah, surprising amount.
Atlanta's not going to take them.
Yep.
So we're done with the morning slate. Who do you guys think is Rookie of the Year?
That's a tough one.
Mike Latta.
I've got about 10 names written down.
On offense, I think it's Mike Latta.
Clem seems ready. So Clem, we're the 10.
Oh, you want all 10 guys I wrote down?
Yeah, sure. Just give it to
Hit us.
I got Jarius Jones, Mike Latta, Darryl Mack, Eddie McFadden, Sean Jenkins, Mike Radishar, David Doherty, Romulus Jackson, Brendan Sauter, and Anthony Ortiz.
That's a who's who of the last draft class.
Interesting name that was not in there. Lauren Christensen? Or did I just miss that?
Oh, I think I probably just missed him, that's all.
Okay, yeah, because on defense, I would say it's down to like Ortiz or Christensen.
Yeah, Ortiz has been insane.
Yeah, he's been pretty wild.
8 sacks and 9 stat
I'm
lines.
a little salty about the Bills getting him. He's been as good as Sean Jenkins has been.
I still find it funny when Saluna said he didn't think Lauren Christensen would be that good, and he's been a fucking ball hawk.
Of course, yeah, he's as good as everybody hyped him up to be. Like,
yeah,
well,
I just missed Lauren Christensen. I was looking this up. I put him in there too.
I don't think he said he was going to be bad. I think Saluna just said something like, "I'm not as happy with this pick as I thought I'd be," or something like that. But he's been really good.
Everybody else would be like, would have been fucking stoked if they'd gotten Lauren Christensen.
Is that the?
We thought about taking him at like 16.
I think they've, if I'm correct, yeah, we do. They have a number 1 pass defense, which isn't really a surprise, I guess, with Justin Davis and Lauren Christensen, and whoever else to have him a secondary.
Dane Wilson at strong safety. I mean,
Yeah.
Reggie Beasley at free safety, who's got 4 interceptions himself.
Yeah, they're ridiculously overpowered. Somebody know, like Saluna was
They've
talking
got
about
18
potentially
interceptions on
the
the season.
Saluna was talking about potentially retiring if he wins the Super Bowl this year. Like, how many people do you think would fight to jump over and like take the Miami jobs? Like, if Saluna retired.
That secondary has 18 interceptions on the season.
That's so ridiculous.
My God. Sorry, I've been trying to help Jumbo out with this schedule thing, so feel free to just keep talking. Let me know when the next games are up, but we gotta get this done for plenty of different reasons.
I wouldn't want to take like the Dolphins job just because it wouldn't be your team for at least like a number of seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's already there. It's built for like a couple of seasons at least.
Yeah,
So,
but I mean,
like-
there are people who don't give a shit and just want to
Well,
win.
yeah, obviously, but yeah.
Snead with a touchdown. Nope, he fumbled.
Oh.
Nope. I think he actually scored.
Ooh, Willie Snead, my boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Mark Ingram's looking a lot more like agile this season. Don't know if he's dropped weight or something. Or...
Yeah, too bad our
So-
offensive line. Too bad our offensive line sucks donkey dick. On the guard spots, we're so bad now. Jari Evans is like a shell of what he once was. I don't know. Back in NFL HC land, we don't have a. If anybody in the shout box is watching this, go ahead and throw some questions our way.
I'm looking at the Dolphins cap situation. They have almost no free agents next year.
They have almost no what?
Free agents.
Well, that's
Yeah,
my point. isn't
like
it?
no one's a free agent.
They're built
literally-
almost entirely out of the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got like backups every free agents. That's about it. It's insane.
Yeah,
That's what's infuriating about them.
Now 2019, they're
it's
gonna
gonna
have
take
to spend
like 3
some
or
money.
4 seasons. It's gonna take like 3 seasons for them to like really feel any cap issues.
It's like everyone worries that like their draft picks will turn into busts, but like everyone who Miami drafts, it's like they just walk through the gates and they're just sprinkled with like Hall of Fame dust or something, just turned into like
You could
really good
probably-
players.
You could probably make a Pro Bowl team out of like every other franchise, like an all-star team out of every other franchise, and play them against Miami. And I honestly don't know that Miami would lose.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
Time said he'd take the Dolphins and trade Brian Brown for C.J. Logan.
Oh
yeah,
god.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh god. CJ Logan.
Yeah, somebody like take over the Dolphins and like break them apart. Do a favor for the rest of the league.
Okay, we do have a question here from Bubada, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
Who's the best out of Kareem Taylor, Thomas Wheeler, Alexander Williams, and Javier Fields?
Wheeler. I'll take Wheeler all day.
I'm gonna be Homer and take Williams. My boy Xander, I can't.
Really? You take Alexander Williams over Thomas Wheeler or Javier
Yeah.
Fields?
Absolutely. I think what you
Okay.
saw last year and what you've seen this year is that Xander has really improved as a passer, and he still gives you quite a bit on the ground rushing.
Eh.
I'm not sure. I want to say. I don't know. Oh god.
Yeah, I would definitely take Wheeler, even though he's throwing like 70 passes a game this year, which is obviously just ridiculous. But if you put him back in a real offense, I think Wheeler still can be a top 3 quarterback in the league, top 5 at least, if not top 3.
And the Giants let him go for what, a 5th-round pick?
No, they got like a first out of it and some other shit. I mean, it was some massive combo trade, but it was ridiculous for them to do it either way.
Yeah, they got a first, didn't they? Because who did they get out of it?
Yeah, they ended up with 2 firsts. I mean, they got a
Did they?
first
Okay.
and like, yeah.
Oh wait, no, but
Yeah,
what the fuck? No, wait a sec. Oh, the Patriots, I'm guessing, traded for their second first-round pick. I'm not sure what they got from that trade though. Says they got it from the New York Giants. They took Mark Harrington with their first-round pick last year. Wide receiver, but known to throw to him.
yeah. Oh, they took who did they take at wide receiver?
Question from Jacob's biggest free agent move. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure it was all free agents.
Yeah, who was taking free agency last year?
Xander Williams.
Yeah, Xander Williams.
That was probably the biggest. Well, we thought it was going to be the biggest free agent move, but he hasn't like. And maybe it's just because Seattle's not completely there yet, and they really prioritize defense over there. But I thought that Seattle would be better than they are with Alexander Williams added over there, but eh.
But no, he played well. He had 65% completion, 3,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and then another 500 rushing yards. I think another 8 touchdowns on the ground, or 10 touchdowns on the ground.
No, but I mean, like, I thought Seattle as a team would be better than they are with Alexander
I
Williams.
think they just need a bit more firepower. Like they picked up Patrick Burke this year, didn't they? From wherever he's from. So he's a rookie wide receiver. They got.
I think he was from Auburn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got Tony Huff, rookie tight
The
end.
two Auburn guys.
So yeah, I think they'll probably draft another piece maybe this year, and then they'll probably be in a better position.
Yeah, they took Tony Hunt out of Georgia, the
Tony
tight
Hunt,
end.
yeah.
I really liked him a lot.
So
He had a really nice size. And,
with those two
Oh my-
progressing this year,
did anybody see that?
see what?
See what?
What Cam Newton just did?
What happened?
He jumped over a defensive lineman at the end zone and did a complete flip and landed on his feet in the end zone.
Oh my god.
Athleticism.
It was ridiculous. It was like he did a cartwheel in the air on his side and landed on his feet, like facing the sticks. It was ridiculous.
Cade's asking the question: who is MVP? Who's your MVP?
MVP for this
I'm
year?
gonna say Brian Brown.
Brian Brown.
No, I'm not sure because obviously Marcus, what's his name? Can't remember the running back's name. Marcus Barry's had Marcus Barry's had an insane year as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
But I mean,
Von Abraham would be my choice. He has 1,900 yards right now. I understand he gets run to death, but
Yeah, I'd probably have to.
Well,
If I'm not going Brian Brown, I'm going Skaggs.
Most valuable player. It's got to be Von Abraham.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's
But if you're doing it the way
240
MVP awards get awarded, sorry, go ahead.
He's got 200 more yards than the next closest running back. It's just ridiculous. After this afternoon's game, Von Abraham will be our first 2,000-yard rusher. So.
Oh, don't jinx that. Don't you dare jinx that.
He's
Especially after morning games.
Yeah, but what if he gets injured?
He'd have to get he'd only have to get 55 yards.
Yeah, but what if he gets his ACL torn on the first play?
I'm pretty sure Von Abraham is such a beast that he doesn't really need ACLs to keep running.
Don't.
He'd probably
Don't provoke the pipe. Don't provoke the pipe.
Imagine Sir Wendell's saltiness if Kamau and Von Abraham are gone and they're heading into the playoffs. Oh god.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, good.
Speaking of who's going for quarterbacks this year, Dallas could be maybe. I mean, I love Kamau Davis. Everyone knows I am his biggest fan. But yeah, I mean,
that could be a team that trades up to try and get a quarterback.
If Dallas has
I don't think that's a team that needs to trade up to get a quarterback.
But if they get a legit quarterback, then they are going to be really dangerous.
The only reason they would need to trade up, I think the only reason they would need to trade up is if they wanted Shea. If they want to sit there and Musgrave is going to probably be there, Rodriguez is probably going to be there. The guy from Michigan, Tommy Jones, he might be there. Wherever they're picking in the first round, because I feel like they're probably going to be picking somewhere in the low 20s. The low to mid 20s. I don't see why they'd even need to trade up unless they really
look at their defensive ends. They need defensive end pretty bad. Their starters are 75. Their number one guy's 75, and the 73. That's probably one area in the team they really need to improve on. That and
I mean, it depends on what they want to do, but I could still see them going quarterback early,
second or third round.
I think they might even go for an explosive receiver like Patios, or if he's available in the late 20s and people fucked up Jarius Shaw-Dodd. Just having a Dez Bryant type guy on the outside would really help this Cowboys offense.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on their two starting wide receivers. None of those guys really impress me.
I think Kurt Hill can be good if they can move him into the slot somehow. If they can get a Harry Whiteside or something in the second round, maybe.
Yeah, out of the lower, the mid-end wide receivers, the mid-tier guys, I really like Butch Harper. That guy just wrecks everyone in the SEC East.
This receiver class is kind of underrated a little bit. Everybody knows outside linebacker is a huge strength in this draft. There's some pretty good offensive linemen, but yeah, I think wide receiver is kind of an underrated position as far as depth in this class. There's some pretty good receivers.
Well, there is 680 wide receivers.
Yeah.
680 plus.
Yeah.
No, 7. Sorry, missed one. And Penn State's got another 80 in the draft again.
I think this is one of the deepest guard classes we've had as well. It was
Yeah,
like
last year was a pretty balling guard class, honestly.
Yeah.
No, it was tackle that was great last year. Yeah, there were a lot of tackles.
But this year we got guys like
Yeah.
Doug Aska, Todd Hevesy, just really
I'm not gonna lie, Doug, I have like a huge man crush on all of those Miami offensive linemen. They're all huge. Like, they're ridiculously oversized. Our starting left tackle for the Saints is a Miami guy, and he's like 6'5", 320 pounds. And then Nijrel Smith was huge and ridiculously athletic when he came out. He played for the Rams. And now, like, everybody, like, Miami's got like two tackles and a guard in this class, and they're all like 6'5", 310 pounds or something crazy like that.
in the Wheaties.
There's a really good
Yeah, they
question in the
seriously-
chat box right now. Who do you guys think was the most disappointing first-round pick in 2017?
Ooh, that's good.
That's a
Ooh,
really
that is a
good
tough
one.
I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah, that requires some quick research.
I can't really speak for offensive linemen, so I'm just gonna have to pick someone else.
Yeah,
Kind of. Maybe. I don't know.
All these guys seems like they had solid years that we can kind of look at.
So like go back and look at the actual draft because I can't remember everybody that was a first round pick. Let's go back and see.
Maybe Mark Harrington.
Mark
Oh,
Harrington.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he was in an offense that ran all the time, so it's hard to really judge that.
I'll give you one. Gordon Kleinsaucer in Houston.
Yeah, Kleinsaucer.
I mean, that's
Oh wow, yeah.
that was rough.
And they
I
went
mean,
past
obviously
heavy for a little
they're-
while too.
Yeah, they've tried to get him the ball, and it has just not worked out at all. It's, and it rhymes, so I'm right.
I think I'm gonna go with, especially after yesterday during the awards show. Shout out to that if you guys haven't listened to it. It's a good listen to. Ryan Robinson by the Patriots. Saluna yesterday said Robinson was like the highest individual O-line guy from last season when we were talking about Brandon Riemann. And New England's given up 12 sacks this season, which is like in the top 5 for teams. It might be on Lawyer Johnson holding on to the ball, but
It may be someone coming from the other side as well, though. May not be.
Yeah, their offensive line's still pretty weak, even with Robinson. But yeah, I mean, there's probably some element of that.
when you bring in a guy who's
Well, you can look at Lawyer Johnson maybe.
Yeah.
He was a first round pick. I thought he was
Oh,
lower
he was
than
a
that.
first rounder? I was second.
Yeah, he was 28th
Lawyer.
overall.
Yeah, Lawyer's been disappointing.
Yeah,
Just
Hard-
understatement of the year.
hard to argue with that. Yeah. Here's a question that's not from the shout box, but I'll hit you guys with it. Best rookie receiver out of the top 3: Sean Jenkins, Ty Miller, or Sonny Beckett?
Oh,
Oh god, that's tough.
I want to say Ty Miller, if I'm remembering correctly. I thought he was going to do really well. I think a lot of people had worries about him just being a product of Norris Brooks' year, but he's had a really nice year.
he's had
Yeah,
1,000 yards. I
Uh,
think.
I mean,
basically,
Obviously, Sean
breaking down.
Jenkins is number 2, is he on your chart, Neil? So he hasn't had as much chance to shine.
But
Yeah,
Sean
we-
Jenkins
we
also
moved
has a 2 kick return for touchdowns as well.
I'm sure
yeah.
Jenkins was out for part of the year.
Yeah.
I think on pure
Yeah.
receiver production, I'll go with Ty Miller, but I think from a pure receiver standpoint,
Like
I really
Sean
like him.
Jenkins to me is a guy that's like kind of like Odell Beckham. He was injured for part of the year, but every time he's played, he's been just insane.
The way it basically breaks down is Miller's got the most yardage and I think the most catches, but that's kind of close. Beckett's like he's really good, but he's not like he doesn't have the yardage that Miller has. And then
So
Jenkins
they're close.
has the most touchdowns, and
Oh, yeah.
he has the most versatility with the return game.
He's got
Jenkins has
two,
arguably been the best return man this year.
Yeah, he might be the all-pro return man. Jenkins is insane. It's between him and Bashir Rodriguez probably.
Yeah, Bashir, Jenkins, and Jackie Walters in Miami has 2 return touchdowns. And actually, I didn't even realize Tommy Fury in Tennessee has 2 punt return touchdowns.
Whew. Quite a big competition. I know for all rookie receivers, Eddie McFadden leads them in yards, but that's probably a lot of the Skaggs volume. Daryl Mack has had a really good year. Kind of big surprise to me, at least. He's only 156 pounds playing as the #1 wide receiver, so we'll see how durable he is in the upcoming seasons. 156, he might be lighter than Gray Corbin. Yeah,
If you look at
Daryl Mack is lighter than Gray Corbin. Oh my god.
Yeah,
If you look
Daryl
at
Mack.
Carolina's, sorry.
Are you good?
Well, if you look at Carolina's depth chart, Eddie McFadden's the clear #1 guy. The second #2 is Richard Zimmerman, who I've never even heard of.
Yeah, they had nothing at receivers.
So it's
They traded away.
it's not just Skaggs; it's that he's the only guy out there. So I guess it makes it a little more impressive too.
Skaggs makes
Miller-
receivers.
Skaggs has
Skaggs
been like
makes
so
receivers.
since Skaggs has had to stop throwing like 5,000 times a season. He's been like so efficient with the football, like 70% completion percentage, which I think he's like the only
Yeah, he's
person
the only
maybe.
guy.
Yeah,
Christian Skaggs is basically Drew Brees in his prime right now.
yeah, he's been absolutely insane. 3 interceptions all season, and he's just been awesome. Now that they've got like Latter in there, they've got like a good running back, so they can balance it out a bit more. And they've got like
Yeah. No,
pieces.
Carolina's ceiling is terrifying.
Yeah, something that I really want to see Carolina do this offseason is get a monster tight end. Because, I mean, like, everyone loves Bob Branch, but dude's been in the league for 3 years. He's a 75. If they could maybe flip something with Baltimore and get Danny Patrick or get, the tight end out of Hawaii.
There's like there are
Matt
there are-
Thomas.
there are a bunch of tight ends in this draft class. Like tight
There's-
end
there's
might be the this.
680s, I think, is what I counted.
6'8" tight ends, my God.
There's a
There's
guy
5.
who came out early at tight end from Ohio State. I mean, this tight end class is loaded,
Yeah.
which means tight ends are going to drop like a motherfucker.
Looking
Yeah,
at
everyone's so scared to get a tight end in the first round, so there's options for like
Yeah,
second, third round. Super
looking
tight
at
ends.
looking at Skaggs' like distribution of his passes this year, though, it's become obvious to me at least that Bob Branch, like the yards and touchdowns he was getting, was because of the system. Because of
Just
this
'cause of
year,
the
he's had like
system.
104 receiving yards. Like
Yeah,
now that
it-
we're in a lot more like a balanced offense, it doesn't really seem that like tight ends are getting used that much. We're obviously in like
Yeah.
a pistol or something before.
No, he was in a. I think
Air
he was
raid.
probably like verticals or something.
Yeah,
which-
Yeah, verticals is the tight end
Yeah,
system.
so the system was running. Yeah, it was hitting the tight end on all the. What basically happens is the wide receivers go out, and then he leaves all this room underneath. So the check down is like the tight end 12 yards upfield. So
Yeah.
he's just hitting the tight end over and over and over again. So he gets loads of first downs, first down yardage.
And if you look at this year's draft, there are 13 tight ends rated 75 or higher.
Yeah, tight end.
So there's tight ends for
tight ends loaded
days.
this year. They're
They're probably
going to be tight ends.
in
in like
free
the
agency.
fifth-
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be tight ends in like the 5th round that are, in the mid 70s because
Well,
people don't need them.
Last year it was pretty stupid how far some fell, wasn't it? I think like.
Well, the tight ends last year weren't very good.
Yeah.
Tight ends last year were pretty bad.
Even the top end guys, I wasn't really impressed with.
Top end guys that were like 80 overall was the best tight end last season.
Huff, yeah. It went to Seattle in like the 2nd round or something. 2nd or
The other
3rd.
guy I really liked was Jerry Schippo or Saipo from I think it was USC.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
one guy I really liked.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I really liked Huff out of Georgia though, and not just because Franz is the GM.
Houston got the best named one in the 7th with King Pietrasante.
Nice.
They're still waiting on 4 p.m. games.
Yep, just chilling here. We'll
Yeah,
take
about
more
9
questions
minutes.
from the shout box if anyone else has stuff we want to talk about. Otherwise,
Well, did we settle on a Rookie of the Year person? It seems like we kind of skimmed over that a little bit.
Oh yeah, Rookie of the Year. For me, I'm gonna go with Mike Letta.
Yeah.
Mike Letta's really turned around this entire Panthers organization, and they might be making their first playoffs in 3 years. So he's dangerous catching the ball. He's dangerous running the ball. He's a total package running back. He kind of reminds me of how Achille Wallace came in last season and just put the Falcons
Blew
on
shit
his
up.
back. Yeah.
He's got 1,480 rushing yards, 15 touchdowns, 132 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Speaking of Achille Wallace, like that dude is still ridiculous. As bad of a year as Atlanta's having, 1,600 yards, 19 touchdowns, 1,100 yard games. Good God, Achille Wallace is a beast.
That Florida State.
Atlanta traded up to get him, didn't they?
Yeah, he came from
Yeah.
Florida State.
Yeah.
What was it? Achille was the last 83 available in running backs. Ron Thomas is the next 83. I don't know if Ron Thomas will be as good as Achille, but if he is, then he's worth a top 10 pick, maybe even a top 5 pick.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised to see Troy McRae maybe slip in ahead of Ron Thomas.
I wouldn't either. It depends on that. That's a
It's a draft.
kind of deal.
It's all about hype. So
Make
it
them
all
down
depends on you.
to combine questions.
Yeah.
Really.
Especially McRae getting the All-American and winning the Doak Walker, and being second in the Heisman.
Yeah,
Yep.
second.
A lot of teams are gonna really like that.
Especially with as bad as of an offensive line as Wake Forest had, McRae was
really
still
outside of
that
him and Deshaun Jenkins, there's not much to Wake Forest at all.
No. They carry that team.
Johnny Manziel's having a decent game.
It's against the Tits, though. We're terrible.
Boom.
For his troubles, though, I think he's
Yeah.
holding them together. We'll see. Marcus Mariota brought it back at least.
Yeah, Mariota. I like this kid. He's
Odell
looking really
Beckham,
sharp
man.
for us.
7 catches, 146 yards, and a touchdown.
The nice
I
thing
love
about
it.
Mariota is that
Oh, yes,
like-
Cameron Jordan.
good thing about Marcus Mariota is he hasn't got this character. Like, he obviously just gets on with things, goes to work,
Yeah.
puts in time, isn't a troublemaker.
He's not a diva.
Yeah, he's not a diva, and he
He's not Jameis Winston.
He's not Davis.
But that is not what I'm trying to say. But yeah,
Jimmy Clausen update: 10 for 16 for 60 yards and interception, sacked twice for 15 yards.
Who's Jimmy Clausen playing for? I thought he was out of the league.
Bitters, Cutler's injured.
Wow.
The thing is, last year when he played, he did really well the last 3 or 4 games.
It's still
But not
it's
today.
still Jimmy Clausen. I'll never believe in him.
I will always love
my
Jimmy
God.
Clausen forever.
This is why the Saints are so bad. Cameron Jordan sacks Jameis Winston and just destroys him. It's 3rd and 20, and the Bucks hand the ball off, and they go 30 yards.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what's blowing my mind
Yeah,
right now? D'Angelo Williams has scored 26 points in standard. He has 3 touchdowns for the day.
Is he
Oh
playing
my
for
Dude,
Just-
Pittsburgh?
Steelers, yeah.
Just-
He's
just
the
to
Le'Veon
shout
Bell
out-
there.
She's just waiting for Le'Veon Bell to get back.
Just a shout out, I have Antonio Brown in my work PPR league. He has 40 points.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
40 points in PPR?
He has 10 for 220 yards and a touchdown or something like that.
Jesus.
why the fuck have the Lions not? The Lions have hardly run the ball at all, which
They
doesn't
should be
make
hand-
sense.
They should be handing that shit off to Amir Abdullah.
Please.
Well,
He's
they've
had
been
six
down all
carries.
game.
6 carries for 9 yards, but I mean, yeah, I don't
Oh, he lost 20 on one play.
try to be Barry Sanders. That's what he's trying to do.
Probably.
I mean, they've been
Get
losing
to him
all
in
game.
space. Put him in the slot.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Oh God, Cameron Jordan deserves better than this shit-tastic defense. Good God, he's blowing up the Bucks left tackle like every play, and Jameis just like running away from him.
Gronkowski's above 100 yards receiving with a quarter to go.
Oh God,
I can't stand
105
the
with one
Bengals.
receiving touchdown.
That doesn't even surprise me anymore.
Turns out that the Patriots-Bills game wasn't as close as the hype said all week.
the Bills,
In
like
fact,
the Bills,
it's the biggest blowout right now.
the Bills beating up on the Colts last week was a giant fucking mirage. I don't know what the hell happened in that game.
From what I watch of the game, the Colts' offensive line is pure garbage. Just pure trash.
Who's the Colts running back? Isn't it Frank Gore?
Yeah.
We got Frank Gore. We got not Josh Robinson. We released Vic Ballard. We got Josh Robinson and some other guy, Tyler Varga.
I just
You
know
got
like
some washed
Andrew
up-
Luck
you got some
threw the
washed
ball
up
a shit ton.
dudes.
Being a pessimistic Jets fan that I am, I still think we're going to get smashed tomorrow, but we'll see.
Who do y'all play?
We play with Colts, so
Hey,
but
Clem,
we do have Wilkerson and Leonard Williams, so hopefully they can mess
What
about
about-
with the goal
what
line.
happened-
Is Hilton healthy?
No, I don't think so.
He's a game decision, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
I left
don't have-
Andre
we don't
Johnson
have
on my bench because
He's expected to play.
Yeah, they don't have Greg Toller or their other cornerback.
Andre Johnson is a bust. in
he's a
Indy.
bust. Yeah, he was terrible last week against the Bills.
Yeah, he was so bad. He looked like a
Yeah, we
guy
still got Philip
too old to
Dorsett.
play in the league.
Yeah.
Dude, what was up with that Philip Dorsett pick? What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore what the Colts are doing.
I mean, I get
we
the only
need
thing I
the
can imagine
defense
is like,
bad.
how did they not like even offensive line anything but a receiver? Anything.
Especially since we picked up Dante Moncrief in the offseason. No,
Yeah,
last year.
and
And then we had Duron Carter.
He's legit. Duron Carter.
I don't know.
Oh my God, are you serious right now?
What happened?
The Saints tried to give it to Willie Snead on a screen, and he got tackled by like 3 dudes, and he fumbled the ball, and Tampa Bay recovered it, and now Tampa's going to win.
I just need
Saints are so
some
bad.
Mike Evans points.
The Saints are going to pick like in the top 10, and I'm going to be super hyped about the draft, and that's the only thing keeping me going.
I need Jameis to get the ball to Mike Evans.
Mike Evans has like 2 catches or something that I've
No,
seen.
he's got nothing.
Jameis, has he looked any better, Jameis, today?
Jameis has a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown.
Oh yeah,
And
Jameis has missed on like some really huge big plays because he's blind as a freaking bat. There have been points where like Vjax was running like free down the sideline and Jameis is looking around and then he gets sacked by Cameron Jordan. He's not even covered.
His pocket presence is nil.
I want to give a quick shout out to
Who do I throw to?
I want to give a quick shout out to the official fantasy league for the CFBHC worst matchup right now. Me versus Saluna. I have 22 points. He has -1. I have 2 players with negative points.
Oh my God.
I still have like
He's
6 people.
What a
players.
shit show.
I know he's gonna kill me.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
only
2
have.
players going.
Yeah, I
right
have
now.
-1 points, but I only have my defense and Brandon Cooks, and my defense has -3 points. And
Cooks is terrible this year.
Jeremy Hill has a negative point.
For this
Keenan
game.
Allen has a negative point.
Game suit. Well, not now.
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
gonna-
I shouldn't have said that.
This won't even be close. I'm gonna destroy you, like based on who else
Oh,
I
yeah.
have. So
Oh no, it's not gonna be close. It's just right now it's this shithole.
holy shit, this is a sad game.
I got 3 players left after the morning games.
How do I have -1 points after 1 p.m. games? It's weird. I only had 2 things playing.
Oh, Saluna, we've got a question from the shout box for you. If you could talk about some of the positive rookie offensive linemen who's playing well.
They've mostly been good. I don't. There aren't any.
How's Greg Sewell been?
Not notable. All right.
What about that Robert Haynes for the 49ers?
Wesley Dawkins.
Haynes looks good.
Everyone just grilling Salute
Haynes is good because Todd Lester doesn't die.
Here, I'll give you a grade on all the people from the first round only. Let me go through them. Gray Brown, A. Robert Haynes, A. Ryan Robinson, B+. Gary Tomlinson, C. Glenn Boyd, C. Wesley Dawkins, B.
Wait, what was Wesley Dawkins? I didn't hear that.
B.
Okay, that's not bad.
Is that it? I think that's it.
I think Dawkins.
Greg Shaw was taken in the first round, 36 overall.
36 overall.
Nice try.
I mean, it was worth a shot.
All right, 4 o'clock
Oh,
game.
I gotta post the games.
You're good.
I forgot. I was watching the shit show of Bears-Cardinals game.
Jimmy Clausen.
Watching Jimmy Clausen play football is funny. It's like Gabbert.
Oh, please.
Nothing's as worse as Gabbert. Gabbert, like, his
No
pocket
more.
presence was just...
In 15 years of watching the NFL, Gabbert's the worst football player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Jimmy Clausen isn't the worst, which I'm totally.
No,
okay
he's
with.
not.
No.
Like, nothing is worse than Gabbert. Son of a bitch! I dropped my dice because of fucking Neo.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Well,
We got Oakland winning.
damn. Aaron Devereaux.
Oh, it's okay. We still won the division because Tampa won.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Giants
we-
won
and we-
because all
and we-
Dick Cook does is win.
And we didn't come last in our division. Hurrah. Screw you, Saints.
So the Chicago Bears have the first overall pick in the draft.
I thought the Eagles did.
I thought the Eagles got it.
No, Jumbo said he missed it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Jim Bendros, head injury out for the season. No. The horror.
So the Detroit Lions are the best team to not make the playoffs at 11-5.
Jesus
Well-
Christ.
At least we know Mike Thomas isn't nearly as bad as our last couple of backup quarterbacks.
So who's in the playoffs in NFC then?
I'll tell you. Hold on. It is. It's the Packers.
Packers are the number 1 seed. Yeah.
Saints, Panthers, and Bucks.
Yeah.
The South, and then the Seahawks and Cowboys.
So the South gets all 3 teams in. Good lord.
Wow, I
Alright,
can't
let's
believe
go,
the Lions didn't make it.
So it was Packs, Saints, Cowboys, and Seahawks won. So it was Carolina and Tampa Bay both got in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's the
Yeah, because they're all at Saints and Tampa are
Here's
both
the
12-4. And
draft
Carolina's
order.
11-5. All right, so we have the updated
So the
draft order.
Bengals won the coin flip over the Browns, so the Bengals get the 8th pick and the Browns get the 9th.
Who gets 7th though? Is it the Colts? Please say
Colts.
Colts.
Texans. 6 of the
Colts get
Colts.
6.
Oh, sweet. That's what I'm talking about.
Lots of 5-11 teams.
But we lost a head-to-head to Houston. We won
It's strength
head-to-head.
of schedule.
New format for the selection order. I love this.
Well,
is
this isn't
fantastic.
for the draft picks. This is just for the selection order.
I know.
It's
It looks awesome.
from the. I think it's from the Real Wiki. I would guess. I think I've seen this before.
So Ken Wells got in the stat sheet for once.
Yeah. Let's go game by game real quick. Then we'll wrap up the show. We have Oakland beating San Diego.
Yeah, ironic for Baltimore because if they hadn't completely fucked their game, they would be the 2 seed right now.
Wow, Dick Lilly, 13 carries for 25 yards.
25 yards.
But he had 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, there you go. San Diego didn't expect, Lilly to get any catches, so he caught a touchdown.
Holy shit! Larry Fitzgerald has 40 points in real life too.
Oh my God, Larry Fitz.
Karate Shark's got a pick again. He's got like 7 on the season now, I think.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
had a
3,
pretty
got
good
3,
year.
sorry.
He's had a pretty good year.
And then next game of the Fighting Dick Cooks against Dallas, and guess who wins? It's Dick Cook.
Yeah, I don't
Man, how
I
is
don't care what
this?
anybody says. Dick Cook is garbage. Jimmy Starks is also garbage, but and that's why the Giants.
Dick Cook is
That's why the Giants won because Dallas doesn't have a quarterback anymore. But
Also, you guys
yeah.
notice
Dick
Von
Cook
Abraham
wins games.
did get over
Over
55
2,000
yards,
yards.
so he's got
Nice.
2,000 yards.
In fact, he
Yep.
has exactly
Von Abraham.
double 55 yards.
Mark Harrington with 4 catches for 52 yards.
You
So
heard us talking about him.
Maybe some Dick Cook to Harrington action in the future. But if the Giants pass up on Aaron Shea,
No, Dick Cook
it's a
is garbage.
disaster.
It's
Yeah,
the-
that's garbage.
Next game, Atlanta. AJ Jefferson outplaying Aaron Devereaux.
Wow, Devereaux did really bad.
Yeah, and Jefferson did really good.
Jesus. Wilburn got
Yeah.
2 interceptions.
That fucking
Riddick
bull.
Smith?
I fucking hate Wilburn. I swear to God. I hate David Wilburn. I hate David Wilburn, and I hate the other guy I hate is R.C. Roan. Every game, like Atlanta and New Orleans, they are like the bane of my existence. They are the worst people in the history of the world. I
Riddick
fucking
Smith,
hate those guys.
Riddick Smith really blew up this game. 3 catches for 115 yards. This might be a formula for some teams to beat up on the Saints in the playoffs, but
This is the game that cost us the #1 seed because we lost this game. We're now the 2 seed. Although we do still win the division, so at least there's that.
yep.
We need the bye week to get Devereaux ready.
Tampa
AJ
versus Carolina for the game that really doesn't matter because the Vikings lost. But I thought Skaggs outplayed Hayden significantly.
It mattered for us.
It mattered for who?
It mattered for us
Oh, for the Saints.
Because-
Yeah.
because we lost. Since we lost, we needed Tampa to beat Carolina to win the division. If Carolina had beat Tampa, then they would have won the division. At any rate, yeah, Skaggs was
I
Skaggs.
thought Skaggs.
Hot.
Skaggs.
That's just his 4th
Cameron
interception
Newhouse.
on the season.
Yeah, Cameron Newhouse gets no hype, but he's a monster in this
Yeah, he's a really good
Bucks
player.
defense. He's really good, guys. Just watch out for this
He had
guy. If Blitz doesn't get on, I got dibs on Newhouse. Detroit. With
Real
the
quick
win
before you
over
go on,
Minnesota-
Skaggs threw a touchdown pass to their fullback. He's a
Jesus,
master of the
what?
dump off. Yeah, he threw a
Donnie
touchdown.
Hubbard.
It was low-key a great pick, I think, for them.
We have Detroit beating Minnesota, taking their division rivals out of playoffs.
Keyshawn does a Keyshawn things, 60-yard punt return for the touchdown.
Yeah. Keyshawn just doing.
I'd like to point out at some point that ALWL said punters are worthless and has his kicker as his punter. Well, it's like 2 years in a row now that his season's been fucked by that. So
Yeah,
you might
this
want
last
to invest in
year-
a punter.
Yeah, the Vikings have given up more punt return touchdowns than any team in the league, and it's not close. Not
Is it just
at all.
on how?
Not close at all.
Is it because
Look
we
at their punting
kick
average.
like a punter saloon?
It's practically because of Greg Newman, because in 2 games against Minnesota, he's had 3 punt return touchdowns the last 2 years.
Do kickers just kick it worse as well then? So like, do they not get the same?
Well, they're not punters, so.
Well, I mean, no, but I mean, like, I don't know if you know if they get like the same airtime or anything, or if they're just worse kicks, or if they're just shorter. If they're just
Well,
short.
The ones
worse.
in the combine get a grade at it, don't they? The kickers get a
Yeah.
grade for how good they are at punting.
They get a kicking grade there. It's just like a general thing.
I'm so happy we took Darrell Lemus in the 7th. Like, it was such a good pickup getting a kicker.
Yeah,
So-
punters and kickers are important guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green Bay against Chicago, as expected. Green Bay rolls over Norris Brookshire and the gang. I think Brookshire will be pretty good next season, though. He's looked really sharp
Well,
down
they
the
need to
stretch.
get him some help on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Remember, their offensive line is really bad.
They
You
need
need to
some
give some help on the
defense, too.
offensive line and some weapons and the
defense.
defense and the tight end and some
And a
corners.
running
and
back.
some-
Turner.
No, Q-Trade, guys. Q-Trade. He's still good, right?
Honestly, like
Oh, he did have a 5.0
Quincy
yard
Turner's
carry.
not. Yeah, Quincy Turner's not good. He's not, but he's good enough that like they have so many other needs. They can't afford to like address running back next year when Quincy Turner's not bad enough. When they have so many other spots where they're just absolutely horrible.
There'll probably be
offensive
some
line.
free agents available anyway, running backs, I imagine.
Next we have San Francisco beating Seattle 20-17. Sorry for San Fran because they missed out on playoffs anyways due to tiebreakers and stuff. Yeah, I think Todd Lester might be one of the most improved quarterbacks over the last 2 years.
Like, one thing he did
Shout out
the
to a
best-
guy I really. Shout out to a guy I really, really, really liked as an undrafted free agent. Like I think it was last year, the year before, Kyrese Brown for Seattle, starting outside linebacker for them, half a sack and 5 tackles. We got into like a massive bidding war with Lambeau Throne for him, and ended up losing because they had expansion money.
Wow. Apparently the Panthers were 3 points out of getting the 1 seed, but they're now the 6 seed.
Damn.
That's crazy. What the fuck?
That's unfortunate. And then last but not least, St. Louis at Arizona. And
CJ Logan.
CJ Logan.
CJ Logan outplays Jarius Jones, but still loses the game.
Yeah,
CJ Logan was absolute garbage.
pretty much the only thing I was playing for, really. Well, the only thing I was looking for was for Jarvis to finish the season strong, so that's kind of disappointing. But
I gotta say, this Isaiah Polesfoot guy, he's so hot and cold for us. Sometimes he has a pick and 6 tackles, and other times he gets wrecked by Sonny Beckett. So
I just
hopefully,
want to give a quick shout out to former Cleveland Brown Ken Wells, who never made one stat sheet ever in Cleveland, I think, and now just made his first ever career stat sheet as a professional player.
oh shit.
It's a 4th year player, I think, or 3rd year.
Johnny on the spot.
Also, TCTY has won the NFL HC Fantasy Football because of Blake Shell only getting 0.8 points.
Oh, poor alien.
Ken
I feel
Wells,
so bad.
Ken Wells has had like.
Oh my God, Brandon Cooks. He just jumped over like a 6'6" dude, and he's 5'10".
Dear God, he's good.
How is the New England game still 6.5 minutes left with like the 4 o'clock games already going?
Because when you throw as much as New England probably has throwing, it slows the game down.
What the fuck kind of score is 37-19?
Is Brady even in the game still?
Oh my god, there's almost 100 pass attempts in that game between both quarterbacks.
Jesus.
Wait, Tyrod Taylor's throwing that much? That's not a good thing.
He
for the
has
Bills.
almost 30 pass attempts. Brady has almost 60. They're about to score again, actually, Buffalo.
Make it a game, Buffalo. We need Gronk back in. So I guess this wraps up this edition of NFL Live. Thanks for all of the listeners who've listened over the course of 2017. I'll probably host some more next season, but just thanks to all the co-casters here, especially Neo. I think Neo's been in every edition with me so far.
Woo!
Woo! And best of luck to everyone in the playoffs. So we are done.